I had lost all hope that there would be any kind of turnaround with our national team. I was on autopilot with the national team. It looks like certain powers that be will not accept the status quo. We'll talk about that in depth. Black Stars head coach Otoado fired. Who is coming in to replace him? I've heard all kinds of names. Foreign, local, interim, permanent. There's a lot to discuss there. How United are also not happy with a lot of things. They say they are withdrawing from participating in the Ghana Premier League. We'll get into that as well. There's some big cup action also. With enough time on our hands, we'll be able to get into that also. Show probably brought to us by Extra Cash. They say you know how life goes sometimes. Unexpected wahala fees show up. School fees, rent, broken fridge. That's why Extra Cash from Forms Capital, they here for you. Gives you extra money right from your Momo wallet. And you can repay any day up to 30 days. The best part is the interest is charged on how long it takes to repay. And when you keep repaying on time, your limit will grow over time. Don't need to stress. Just dial star 170 hash. Select 5, 3, and 5 to activate your Extra Cash. Star 170 hash. Select 5, 3, and 5 to activate your Extra Cash. We also proud sponsors of Sports Panorama. They say it's time to get rewarded as the next big sports betting influencer with Betway. Place bets and share your codes with friends, fans, and followers. And if they place bets using your code, you will earn 4% of their wager. It doesn't matter whether it's a win or a loss. If they bet with your code, you earn 4% cash of their wager amount. This means the more people bet with your code, the more and start betting, sharing, and winning with Bet Influencer, exclusive to Betway. And then, of course, Litina Travel and Tours. They say the world has gathered for greatness, and you should be there. Litina is leading the way, taking you to America, Canada, and Mexico in one experience. Uniting world-class football and global business in one unforgettable journey. Your Litina travel package includes a visa to watch all 3 group stage matches, the official match tickets, return charter flights, hotel accommodation, travel insurance, and exclusive access to business networking events across all 3 host nations. They say this is not just a trip, it's history in motion, it's football, it's opportunity, it's Litina Travels. Call 0205 229 553, 0205 229 553, or 0506 676 957 today, or visit Litina at Alisa Hotel Northridge and secure your spot on this once in a lifetime journey. So before we get into the conversation, before I even introduce my guest and get an opening prayer for the show, let's listen to this once again.
That we found out. We are very grateful that he agreed to come, even though the terms were not what he would expect. But one thing that he's always said is that he feels he has unfinished business here with Ghana. And that's the biggest motivation for him and his team. For who he is and for what he has achieved with Ghana. I firmly believe that this is not Matramakwe.
Trade the world with eCorp. Discover over 10,000 stocks.
Wait, Because he's done it. He knows Ghana. He knows our culture. He knows our players. He knows our attitude. He knows our food. For which reason, we firmly believe that we have the right man in place.
You heard FA boss Captain Kuku there? And that's how we start off the show today. Before we get into it, big shout outs to our YouTube community. For those of you who are watching the show via YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. That's how we grow the community. I can see you guys out there already. That's exactly how we like it. So, in the studio today, yes, he's the mobile. He's in the studio. There are 3 mobiles in the studio, actually. Nice. The Honorable Nilante Vanderpoy, former sports minister, now coordinator for DRIP. DRIP. Yeah. He is in the studio. And the guy is in the studio, our fellow mobile, Manuel Angelo Kwache. The guy has cut the Amachi Dede punk down. He has the punk down.
Today he's pressing the shiny brothers.
Brother 2 is still on honeymoon. He's on.
Yao Minta.
Yeah.
Mr. Yao Minta.
He shot a lot of people. Elimina feel the
Yao Duo.
Walewana.
Look, Mevina, when you're coming, I'm facing a Yawana. So, no, you're not. Mr. Jamita.
Why you need
Mr.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Why you need
God bless you guys, Charlie.
Thank you.
Coach Christopher Nimlis in the house.
Today is a spiritual day. It's Good Friday.
Oh, man.
It's Good Friday. Oh, Charlie.
Yeah, what's it about?
The Lord has started answering your prayers.
Charlie.
You are not all the way there yet.
Look, Numajo Honorable Kofi Idi Adams.
Okay.
Numajo is Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The Jezebel, against Zebel, potential. Jubilee House. If I knew what you I can walk P. Recommend. I will like it. She is about small gun. I want. When you are American, watch you when you oh, that be to call
Never.
that be call. It be you are not a turn. It's a you for mountain. That's only. So I need my soa. You are some eventually I catch a minute be there. When you 2 years with when you 2 years be there.
Okay.
You let it to be. They had him and be never in now. Okay, she died. What by a yes, you got the quality program, the quality junior gun. You will like a shit. Yes, I got the quality nearly the Yorkshire. Okay. What by your puni? Yes, sports panorama or like a fake line. But about what we and Vanderpool. Let me check. If I should studio, many won't get it. Okay, he's not only a former minister. She used to buy me Honorable Nilante. There's a book of video where I got me a complex. Let's you complex. I'm going to number 10 again. It just a what I machine in the good on the she know what you know. They do not. It's a short people. Let's get it again. Exactly. People let you drop me or a low wallet. What's the gentleman say? I mean, you know, look at what happening. Men of the range, it can nearly kejo ni yo wa kejo le ekeba fit our your program then
Okay.
one daleshi o keshida ha Yehowa na tuo efi ni de efi ni bo nchi le kwale tudo eyo amane efi na no kwale yo kunimi eli yo jeme okay Yehowa ajo re which mo fe which mo ni president Mahama ke hale etu le hwehwe at the end of the 4 years kwa kunta okay which mo ni lante fada poko honorable Kofi Idi announcement to war another form of this. Okay, you are Joe. Yes, amen.
Amen. For those of you listening to us via radio, you can text us on 0539 986 996. 0539 986 996. Like I said, the Honorable Nilante van der Poel is here with us. Back then, he was sports minister. Now, he's the national coordinator for the District Road Improvement Program, DRIP. But he still is a very strong football guy, so he's in here with us. Let's start off the discussion. The sports in general.
Athletics.
Yeah, I know he's definitely a boxer. I know he's definitely a boxer. Yeah.
Minister say me come back again me number 1 choice no Jenny Lanti ya enu tuma me o to adole what allergy naka
we are here. The GFA and the ministry announced the departure of Otuado like around midnight. So I woke up 46 a.m. 12:46 a.m.
I was up when the story broke, and it was haywire on the internet.
You know what's funny, right? These days, because of how much we consume or how we consume internet, 1 o'clock is not late for anybody. I mean, you are just flashing on their bed. I'm telling you, you dropped at 1 a.m. and within 30 minutes, it was everywhere. It's viral. Let me start off with you, Honorable. I've heard your opinions about the issues that are falling out. So, first of all, Otto has been fired. The big news item from that is that we have to pay him a compensation package of close to $500,000. Now, the conversation progresses further with a look at potential candidates for the takeover. Some foreign coaches have been proposed. So Walid Regragui of Morocco, who was just let go recently. Joachim Löw has been mentioned, but I believe that earlier today he has come out to debunk any reports linking him to the job. And then we have Hervé Renard as well, also being linked to the job. Tom Saintfiet, who coached Gambia, the Belgian, has also been linked to the job for quite a while, but he has not lent any credence to it. Kwesi Appiah appears to be a name gathering a lot of momentum. Now, Kwesi Appiah, as we all know now, is contractually tied to Sudan. And so for any form of engagement to take place, Ghana will have to engage Sudan, probably pay a severance package before he will come in. Let me take your thoughts on, first off, the decision to remove Otto and where you stand with regards to why we should either hire a foreign coach or a local coach at this critical moment.
Ben, thank you very much, and let me say I'm grateful for the management of this institution for inviting me to be part of this program. It's a program I love.
It's a pleasure to have you.
I always listen. I always listen. Yeah, and when I want to throw in my view, I pass it to Coach Nimble. Yes. and
most people don't know. Most of the time, some of the things I said, you remember that when I'm dead, I'll come back, speak on the phone, talking to my boss.
Let me say, I'm all of you on the program, and I'm happy you've sustained this program for a while. And as a leading sports program in the country, I'm privileged to be part of it. I'm here as Nilante van der Poel. I'm not here as a former sports minister. I'm here as somebody who also has a little bit of knowledge about sports and contribute to the program. First, let me say I'm not surprised. The only thing I would say is too late in time. Too late in time. Because from day one, some of us said it was not the right choice. You see, Ben, Ghana national team is not Accra House of Folk or Kumasi said to go. Believe that the GFA has toyed with football for some time. It is only when you think that you don't know what you have, that is when you don't place value on it. But the Blasters is a good brand. It's a huge brand when it comes to African football, when it comes to our performances at the youth level and even at the senior level. Look at our performance in South Africa. Ghana became one of the best countries, one of the 8 best countries in the world. So if you are choosing somebody to handle the Blasters, you must be able to critically analyze the worth of the Blasters to be able to project into what level or standard of coaching are you looking for. You don't just choose a coach. And when it comes to our team, Ben, because of the way our national team is structured, I've always said it is not about the coach, it's about the manager. Okay? Because the players we have don't need any coaching. If you're a coach, let me be frank with you. Namely sitting here, know all the basics about coaching. Because you can't bring players together in 4 days, 1 week maximum, to play a match. What are you going to teach them? What is the coach going to teach them? So it's actually somebody who will be able to manage the various talents we bring together for that short period in order to secure an objective. So it is not a coach. A coach is the one who teaches players what to do and how to do it.
Fundamentals and basics.
Yes, that's a coach. The manager is the one who manages various talents, abilities, capabilities, technical skills, egos, behavior, everything, environment to achieve a goal. So you are not choosing a coach. But many a time, our GFA has made a mistake of thinking about a coach instead of a manager.
That's a very interesting point.
Coach Osandodu was not a coach. He was a coach manager. He put the two together.
Yeah.
The reason being that time, most of our players were local based. So do you know what Osandodu was going? He was also going around the teams. So those days he will come and stand at lotteries. Okay. Watch Accra folk training. After the training, he will have discussion with somebody about certain players. So that if he has an interest in him and he sees some deficiencies in him, he will address that with Coach Ade. So Coach Ade, being the one who is responsible for the player, will start addressing those deficiencies before he gets to the national team. You get it? That is somebody who is a manager. So right from day one, the appointment mechanism system was wrong. Because what is Otuado? What is he going to coach? Who is he going to coach? Is Otuado better than maybe the coaches of, let me
Man City, Tottenham?
We have players are coming from. Yeah. Is Otuado better than Pep Guardiola?
Marty was playing at that Mikel Arteta.
Are you seeing what I'm talking about? So you see, what you actually need is that the players are coming together. So what you do is that you put them together. You say, this is the match we are going to play. This thing we are going to play. This is the way they play. These are the players they have. So then you look at their players. Then you look at who can be able to be a combative player against that player, and then work on the psyche of that player. Because when it comes to the game, the player is already a player.
Minimum tactics, more man management.
The basic things, he knows how to bring the ball, he knows how to head the ball, he knows how to kick the ball. What are you going to coach him? So it is how to manage his physical being, his psychological being towards a match is what we need. So I'm saying that in our next attempt to, I'm not looking at this World Cup. It's not a World Cup. If we're going to really choose somebody to handle the Blasters, that's why I'm using the word carefully, handle.
the Black Stars, we should not look at somebody who's going to be a coach. We should look at somebody who's going to be a manager. CKJF was a manager. Those who took those in those days, they didn't just they know the difference between the two, positions. So I'm saying right from day one we got the premise wrong, and even when we're going to appoint a coach, was Otoado the person with those qualifications and capabilities to be the coach to Minilante. And then we worsened it off by giving him a technical bench which is just like him or below him. You understand?
Yeah.
Let me give you for example, and sometimes when I do, people say I'm biased. Manchester United,
Continue straight ahead.
in choosing Carrick as interim manager, with all his experience and everything, look at the technical bench they gave him. In fact, if you look at the work and you watch Manchester United play, at any point when Carrick moves from the line and goes to the bench, who is there for him to consult? The former England assistant. Thank you. Former England assistant. Former assistant to Pep Guardiola. Yes. He's been experienced.
In 1 kilometer.
He's worked at St. George's, where England national team is developed
In 800 meters.
for a long time.
Right.
Yes, they gave him somebody like that. So what he is giving Carrick is his wealth of experience, knowledge
In
to
400
complement
meters.
the deficiencies that will be observed in Carrick.
In
So you don't
200
choose somebody
meters. Right.
like Otoado, and then you further assemble a group of neophytes to be with him. The people who sit behind him, which of them is competent enough for Otoado to pick instructions from?
Desmond Affair. There was Fatal Dauda. There was Lauman at a point. The GFA fired Lauman and brought in Ufeshifa as technical advisor.
You get me? So that is where I think that the GFA worsened the situation for us. So I know, and when you people sit on a program and lament, and sometimes people think that you don't like them, you don't like Tuado, you don't like the GFA. I tell people it's because people don't really know what football is about. Because why would you sit here and say you don't like Otoado? You don't like it for what? For what? But it's about the interest of the Black Stars.
You want to see our team?
Take
Today.
the first exit.
After all these years, we have just about 72 days to the World Cup.
Yep.
Our first match.
Yep.
Now you say you sacked him.
Turn right.
If you knew
Then turn
that this
right.
is not this guy is not competent enough to take his World Cup, why didn't you sack him 2 years ago? Why didn't you sack him? Because
He didn't qualify us for the
yes, there was enough grounds. So that whoever you choose, by this time, will have been able to know the players, know their various chemistries and nuances.
But Honorable, let me ask you. I mean, you know the nuances of how these things work. I think, as a journalist and presenter sitting here, that the GFA had no intentions of sacking the manager, and I'm giving up, like I said earlier, that we're taking Otto to the World Cup. Then we lose 5-1 to Austria, and all of a sudden things change. Do you think that this could have been a call from higher ups other than the GFA president?
Fortunately, unfortunately, I'm part of government, and I would say that is what hurts me. Yeah, I saw a social media question appear saying that President Mahama instructed his dismissal in 2014. Yes, President Mahama didn't have any interest because the GFA itself at the time, there's no way they will have listened to President Mahama. You understand? That's why I had a serious brush with them because they've made the Black Stars seem as if it's an exclusive right of the GFA to take every decision pertaining to the Black Stars. Nobody has a right to even intervene.
Take the first exit.
And so when you try, or they say that you want to interfere, I always tell people that government cannot sit down and not intervene in situations when Ghanaians,
Because they are trained when it comes
Take the second exit.
Look, this country, close to 80% of football lovers in this country, we're all lamenting and saying that Otuado yet.
200 meters. Turn left.
I said it, yeah.
The day he was appointed, I listened to you. Said it. That was it the best
Option
for us.
Yep.
So, a government will intervene. I'm not saying government intervened, but the government will intervene in such situations in order to restore public confidence in the team.
Turn right.
It's not only our national team.
In 200
Why
meters.
has
Turn
Tottenham
left.
Hotspur management and the club decided to sack their coach? They sacked him.
Yeah.
They brought somebody.
Yeah.
Why did Manchester United decide that they were sacking Amorim? It got to a time it's like every person on the streets knows that the manager. Yes, but then the manager was adamant until they caved in. So in situations where you see teams, what we should know is that a team is also a spirit
Turn
being,
right.
because it's the amalgamation and the total spirit of all Ghanaians that is behind the Black Stars. So
In 1
if
kilometer. Take
people,
a turn.
Ghanaians are not happy with the Black Stars, and all of us, our spirit is down as far as the team is concerned, the team itself will not have a spirit. But it is when our spirits are high and all of us are confident and be praying
In
together,
300
Putting our support
meters,
behind it.
make a
that
U-turn.
the team may not even be performing
In
well,
200
but that
meters,
spirit
make
will
a
always
U-turn.
edge the supporters.
Make a
When you see
U-turn.
people shouting at the stadium,
Turn left.
this thing is also because we all say Upasema kache nyankopon kache mframa. Ategumo susumani akani. You understand? The Bible says life and death lies in the power of the tongue. So if thousands of Ghanaians saying it's bad, it's bad. So I think that it's a problem. But then the timing, I am faulting the GFA for sitting
And waiting for.
waiting for all this work, because that is what has also led to this huge amount of payoff we are going to pay. You understand? Because if you have sacked him a week into the contract, you will not pay that compensation today. $500,000 and over. It's huge money. Huge money.
Yeah.
So within the term of office of the GFA, if you look at the amount of money compensation,
Close to $1 million.
and that yes, yes, to
Close to $1 million.
and 800 something, 838 or something, $1,000. You understand? It's because we take decisions without looking at the long-term objective of the team. And I have said something, and many people did not accept it when I said it, that look, after our performance in 2014, I felt that the team we built over the period had reached their peak, and they were now declining. So what we needed to do was to have that tenacity and the patience and say we are building a new team for the next 10, 20 years. So in that, if that is what we decided to do, then you need Otuado, because he's a development coach. So then you take him to
In 800 meters, turn left.
Stoikov. City.
trust him with the senior national team. He himself, how many years did he play in the senior national team?
400 meters, turn right.
You understand? Where you are recruiting me from?
In
What
200
was the
meters,
level of his
turn
coaching?
left.
He was a development coach. He wasn't even the reserve coach. You understand?
They call him a transition coach.
Yes.
When the youngsters are ready to make a
Yes.
into the first
Yes.
team, then they
It's
go
like
to it.
what Manchester has done with Darren Fletcher now.
Yeah.
You understand? So you cannot just get up and say Otuado is ripe enough. Look, is it? I want someone to play for the GFA president, my very good son and nephew. What you played for the beginning of the program.
Yeah.
When he was introducing the coach. and today.
That was Milovan Rajevac, when he was bringing Milo back for a second time.
So, and then, what did he say when he was bringing Otto for the second time?
He said Otto was capable of doing the job and that he had good experience.
So, what happened now? Me neighbor. Eko Otto how? Well, many were doing what he was small there. Then,
So just to even paint the timeline, so there's been he came to meet Kwesi Appiah, whom he didn't like. Kento Kriku's administration were at loggerheads with Kwesi Appiah. Eventually, they paid him a severance and he left. His first coach,
the Kwesi Appiah issue.
In
Yeah.
1 kilometer.
It all started when he criticized Kwesi for not calling his players. Remember that striker, the under 20 striker, I've forgotten his name. The one who went and fought at the last AFCON. The one who punched the player and
Benjamin Tete.
Benjamin Tete. And then there was another one in Egypt. And then Kento went onto his Facebook page.
And then the fight, the infighting started.
And when he came, you remember, I was there, and you'll be seeing, I was there when Akwesi in Cape Coast invited Kudus to play for the Black Stars the first time.
Yeah.
Petro doubted Akwesi's technical ability to invite Kudus. And he thought Akwesi falling in his face. Now, officer grown in Babetiwa. Now, I feel from Malawi. Say, born and Koya. It costs you a job. And you know what that day Kudus did at the Cape Coast did against South Africa?
I remember.
He scored. And he dominated.
In 1
Then he
kilometer.
just scored.
Turn left.
We all thought that alone would have given Kento Kriku that, okay, let's pay back Kwesi Appiah and let him continue the team. That game, no.
In 800 meters.
Then he
Turn
sacked
left.
him. That's how come Akwesi think that maybe the president at the time has directed he should be seen.
Then he brought in Stiki Akon, who was supposed to be his own man.
Yes.
And then he
In 400
just never saw eye to eye.
CK started the confusion when CK put his team before
They
him.
were editing his.
And then the last of the manager.
That's when
He went on
a big issue he went on to carry on
on
noise.
public TV and said, "Our coach will be allowed
Yeah.
to select his own place." And then asked for when he said that even when he's incapacitated, I'm calling him.
You have to be consulted.
Take somebody using his thought
Yeah.
to call and make sure that the coach alone will never have his way. After you have a every president speak like that.
This is the timeline we're building. And then after Stiki, we had
In
No, after
800
CK,
meters.
then
Turn
we
right.
got Milo.
brought Milo back.
Yep. Right. Was terrible at the AFCON in Cameroon. Remember? Then we brought Priscilla came, and then Priscilla was tagged the government coach.
Kreshito didn't.
His first time qualified us to the World Cup as the technical director, and then he took over after that. He never saw eye to eye with Houghton again. Very
He was in the job. I mean, shadow his people. They would come publicly and criticize Houghton and say, we should have kept Otto Addo in the job.
And then you never need a big improvement by now. He's got his all of that stuff. Now we are here again. The thing for me, why I'm building this timeline is, I think that the constant in
Turn
this
right.
equation is the FA and the FA boss. Yes, in terms of appointing coaches. And so far, they have not shown enough competence. That's the word. Not shown enough competence in,
The second exit.
I mean, giving us somebody that Ghanaians can be confident in. So what is the guarantee
Ben, do you know
that
why?
they will make a good decision this time?
Do you know why?
Why?
Because they always have a predetermined objective. Yes. I'm telling you, yes. They've already, as we sit here, we talk about things.
We talk about people applying, but they
and that can be backed up with Otto's second coming, because before Otto came the second time, they put out the criteria that coaches have to meet before they
I said a coach should have at least 15 years experience.
that criteria, I'm not even sure that there are 10 coaches in the world that can fit that criteria right now.
The irony of that criteria is that when they put it out on their Twitter handle, I think it was deleted about a couple of days later, because when we discussed it at large on radio, everybody saw that it was ridiculous, because that would have meant you were going to have like Carlo Ancelotti or Vicente Del Bosque or coaches or 3 or 4, you have Fabio Capello or somebody, and we didn't have the money and or the capacity to do that.
The problem was that when they decided to change the criteria, when they didn't publish it, and then Keto Kreko picked up his phone and called Otto Addo that he should send in his application. I'm putting this on record. He should come and deny it. Otto did not apply for the job. Today, we should let Ghanaians understand that Otto did not apply for the job. Now, when Keto Kreko and Co saw that the criteria they had put out there was so unrealistic, and he called, like they were saying already, they have condemned Chris Hughton, and his people had mentioned Otto's name. So, like Honorable just said, all the said, they know who they are going for.
This time they say they've received over 600 applications.
In the first time,
if my fingers, if you receive 600 applications, we challenge you to give us out that. No, that is too much. It's going too far. Then give us 10 of the top coaches who have applied for the votes.
And they didn't do that. And then what made some of us so angry was the fact that the search committee, they came and they lied. You know what they said? Of all the top-notch coaches, coaches who have tried, they've tested their methods, and their methods have worked elsewhere. They said, including Mr. Schaefer, at the age of 78 years, they all applied for the job, and they told us that the one who gave the best presentation was Otto Addo. And I was happy.
Can you tell me this story?
Somebody who has never had any practical experience on the job apart from that.
I go, well, I'm sure.
Still, no,
nobody can fix a nice PowerPoint for you. It's still not good enough.
That's what those who were asking the question on. If I was the one sitting on that part, there's no way he was doing any convincing to me. Because football is such that it's practically 90% of the job. And look at the icing on the cake. After coaching our team in Qatar, before he came, we went to Dortmund and we pleaded with them that they should lend us Otto Addo. At the time, if you go to the Dortmund thing, his role there was a trainer scout. Now he went with us to the Mundial, coached our team. When he went back to Dortmund, the people at Dortmund didn't see the need
to promote him.
He was back at sponsor of even the development staff of them. Because somebody who has been to the World Cup. They relegated him or reinstated him as a trainer scout. Then we went back
and I didn't get a game to
he didn't meet any of the criteria. And look at it. This is honorable. If I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. Viewers, listeners, Otto Addo, in my view, in history, the one who was the least qualified, he has been given the most lucrative contract ever in the history of the Black Star. In terms of money, in terms of duration, in terms of anything. That is why somebody like me, I am ready to take the FA to court. I'm going to test the law that I believe there was connivance and you will not pay that 500,000 compensation. They should go and explain to the court. There's somebody who did not meet even one of the criteria. Why would you give him the best ever contract in terms of money, allowances, and seven package? Who does that? City FM here. Service will never do that. Tell me anywhere in the world where a proper institution worth its salt will give an inexperienced person the best ever contract without putting him on proper probation. Why is this time
to qualify for a competition?
I might keep your job.
It's one. I think it's lost of clear how bad Otto actually was. Like Otto went through a whole AFCON qualifying.
But that's the worst. Today, absolutely. Today, why should we pay compensation to such a person? Why should we pay over 500,000 jobs for that?
As for that, his lawyers have seen it. That issue is that was the compensation package also agreeing up with
clauses in the clauses that performance related.
My problem with even his appointment, second appointment, is that it's different if maybe they put out information that Ghanaians should give criteria for the next Black Stars coach. They put the criteria out themselves and went against it.
That is why, for me, I've spoken to my lawyers.
So you are testing them.
Tuesday, I'm going to meet Honorable Kofi Idi Adams. May I officer? It can be the matter. I'm telling them they should hold into any conversation. Take the matter to court. I believe there was corruption in awarding Otuado the contract. I believe there was serious connivance. Because, like I've said, somebody who didn't meet any of the criteria set up.
If he doesn't give you free consultancy.
Yes.
Taking up the matter. Causing financial loss in the state.
Causing financial loss. Why didn't you give me that level of contract? The best ever. In terms of money at the end of the month, allowance packages, and in terms of duration, I would have thought 500 kicks. If you are giving such an inexperienced person the contract, give him 1 year probation.
Yeah.
If you had done that, he would have failed because he didn't qualify as to that.
It's almost like, if you look at that seven, it's almost like Otuado was like above the Ghana job and he probably. That's the biggest compensation you are paying anybody.
So the FA should pay. They've got money every year from FIFA and CAF. They receive $2.5 million. They should go and take that 2.5.
Let me progress the conversation, Honorable Ebet. I've heard snippets of your thoughts on the way forward. You seem to think that we don't have a lot of time, and so we need somebody with more familiarity. Expand on that a little. Foreign coach or local coach? And if you want a local coach, who would be your most ideal candidate?
Let me say, I have said one thing. I don't believe in local or foreign or all these things. I believe in a manager. I believe in somebody who is very competent, somebody who inspires confidence, and somebody who can withstand the pressure of 30 million Ghanaians who are all coaches. It's important. You understand? Let me say, the reason why I'm saying this is that, look, over the period, if you go historically, all the managers and the coaches we've had who have led us to win trophies have been Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Apart from possibly Otto Pfister.
Yeah.
At under 17 level. All our coaches have been Ghanaians.
Yep.
You see, sometimes you don't just look at issues just